Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KD8BYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline, report number 2493, with a release date of Friday, August 8th, 2025. To follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. An international partnership creates a satellite to aid disaster response. Hams honor the Navajo code talkers of World War II and finding a 20-meter dipole in a cornfield. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2493 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
Our top story takes us to space, where a satellite created through the partnership of two nations will provide a window into some of the natural disasters plaguing us here on Earth. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, has the details.
An unprecedented joint satellite project between the Indian Space Research Organization and NASA is giving researchers the hope of better studying the Earth's climate and helping improve responses to natural disasters by monitoring the most subtle changes on Earth, including its glaciers and wetlands. The satellite is known as NISA, the NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar Mission. Its launch aboard an ISRO spacecraft on the 30th of July from the Satish Dhawan Space Center centered on its mission to send microwaves to collect data from different surfaces on the planet. When processed, the data will be visible in an exceptionally high resolution. An estimated 80 terabytes of data will be collected daily. Scientists have said that the method has, quote, unprecedented accuracy, end quote. Researchers and governments around the world will be able to view the data via a cloud platform where they will have open access. The project is being praised as the first collaborative satellite mission of its kind between the Indian and US space agencies. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
A Texas telecommunications company asking for FCC permission to use amateur radio frequencies between 430 and 440 megahertz has submitted a response to the U.S. regulator defending itself against concerns from ham radio operators over interference. The letter, written by AST Space Mobile, assures the agency that its satellites are designed to, quote, mitigate interference, end quote. The company also said it would shut down its use of the band if interference was found. The company's filing, reported in the PC Magazine website, reads in part that the FCC has found that AST Space Mobile's prior demonstration of no interference conform to ITU regulations and are, quote, sufficient to authorize a limited non-conforming use, end quote. The PC Magazine website noted that the FCC has received more than 2,500 comments in protest of the company's proposed use of the band. Elsewhere in space, two more hams have arrived aboard the ISS after a brief delay of their launch, as we hear from Travis Lisk, N3 ILS.
NASA's SpaceX Crew 11 arrived at the International Space Station in the early hours of Saturday, the 2nd of August, after a launch that suffered a one-day weather delay due to poor weather. Commander Zena Cardman, KJ5CMN, and pilot Mike Fink, KE5AIT, were accompanied by two mission specialists, JAXA astronaut Camilla Uyi and Ross cosmonaut Oleg Platonov. During their 7-month tenure aboard the orbiting laboratory, the team will conduct experiments on the impact of microgravity on bacteria-killing viruses. They will also study plant cell division and human stem cells. The ISS assignment marks the first time in space for both Zena Cardman and Oleg Platonov. This is Travis Lisk, N3 ILS.
Although the 14th of August has been designated as Navajo Code Talkers Day, A group of proud amateur radio operators are taking several days to honor this special unit of brave Marines who served in the U.S. military during the Second World War. Few of these hams could be prouder than Herb Goodluck, N7HG, whose late father, John V. Goodluck, had been one of the Marines who used their own Navajo language to craft a wartime code that could not be broken. Herb will be amongst those calling QRZ from the 10th to the 15th, using the call sign N7C. Operators will be using CW, phone, and FT8. Additional details, including operating frequencies, can be found on QRZ.com. The hams will be operating from Window Rock, Arizona, at the Navajo Tribal Park and Veterans Memorial. In rural India, students at a school for boys are being rewarded for their faith in the technical expertise of amateur radio operators. The Lightning Arrestor project they have been collaborating on for several years with the hams is ready to be considered for a patent. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, tells us what comes next.
Leave it to ham radio operators to know how destructive and even fatal a lightning strike can be. That's why a number of years ago, educators at a school in rural West Bengal, India, sought input from local hams for a project by physics students to help protect farmers when they were caught in the fields during storms and lightning strikes. According to reports in the Indian media, the homebrew, affordably built device, which resembles a bicycle's wheel, has been evaluated by the Central Power Research Institute. It also received recognition in 2020 at the National Children's Science Congress, a national showcase for innovative technology devised by youngsters between the ages of 10 and 17. Newsline described the simple device in its first report on the project in November of 2019, noting that it affixes a wheel-like component to the top of a high bamboo pole. An electrical wire connects it to metal in the earth to ground it. The secretary of the West Bengal Radio Club said in media reports that 40 such devices have already been put in place at 40 locations throughout northern Bengal, where the fields for the farmers and their animals are moist and marshy. Now the waiting begins. The Times of India reports that the patent application for the project was filed on July 27. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
A long-standing and well-respected member of the amateur radio community has become a silent key. Frank Butler, W4RH, had been active in ham radio since the 1940s, when he received his commercial and his amateur licenses. He spent part of his professional career as a broadcast engineer at several stations. By many accounts, he gave back generously to amateur radio over many decades. He served for nearly 30 years as the Southeastern Division Director of the ARRL until he stepped down in 2007. He had begun his service with the League in 1957 as Communications Manager for the Western Florida section. According to a posting on the Facebook page of the Alabama section of the ARRL, Frank became a silent key on Tuesday, the 5th of August. He was 100 years old. On March 6th of this year, on the occasion of his becoming a centenarian, the Okaloosa County Board in Florida proclaimed the date Frank M. Butler Jr. Day. Hams throughout the division and beyond posted on social media, recalling him as a gentleman and a frequent and prominent guest at Huntsville and other ham fests. His generous spirit was also widely known. He was a member of the ARRL Maxims Society, which recognizes donors for their extraordinary monetary gifts to the League. A museum project is being hosted online when the ARRL is tracking amateur radio's life story and its impact on society. We have more details from George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
What began as a project of Chuck Penson, WA7ZZE, is slowly growing into Radio Alpha, a ham radio museum and research resource hosted by the ARRL. The historian's vision is to build a tool where documents detailing amateur radio equipment and technology and its evolution can be accessible to everyone in a central location. Announcing the project on the ARRL website, Chuck wrote, "This database will be a living resource, regularly updated and expanded through ongoing research and community contributions, fostering a deeper appreciation and understanding of amateur radio's profound impact on communication, technology, and society." Chuck is looking for volunteers to assist him in building and collecting the content, especially hams with deep knowledge of particular product brands or operating modes. The project is being supported by the ARRL's Historical Preservation Fund. If you're interested in assisting him, he can be emailed at radioalpha@arrl.org. That's radioalpha, one word, @arrl.org. To see how the collection has already grown, visit the link in the text version of this week's Newsline script at arnewsline.org. This is George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the AH6LE repeater in Beaver Creek and Wilsonville, Oregon, on Sundays at 6 p.m. local time. Viewers of the Ham Nation podcast shared a proud moment with Newsline's Young Ham of the Year, and Don Wilbanks, AE5DW, is here to tell us about it.
On Wednesday, July 30th, it was my honor to present the 2025 Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award to Katie Campbell, KE8LQR. As Katie will be in Germany as a foreign exchange student for her senior year in high school on the weekend of the Huntsville Ham Fest, we presented the award live on Ham Nation, a first for us. Our corporate sponsors, Yazoo USA, Heil Ham Radio, and Radio Waves Antennas, will have some gifts to show their appreciation. Appearing with Katie, along with our Ham Nation regulars, Josh Nass, KI6NAZ, Amanda Alden, K1DDN, and Gordon West, WB6NOA, were Young Ham of the Year Committee Chairman Mark Abramovich, NT3V, Judge Rich Moseson, W2VU, Newsline Editor Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT, Newsline's Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, DX Engineering's Tim Duffy, K3LR, and Huntsville Hamfest Chairman Mark Brown, N4BCD. If you missed it live, you can watch the replay on YouTube on the Ham Radio Crash Course channel, or just type Ham Nation in the YouTube search bar. Our sincere congratulations go out to Katie for her amazing contributions to the amateur radio hobby and service. We're looking forward to next March when we again open nominations for the 2026 Young Ham of the Year Award. Again, many thanks to our corporate partners, Yazoo USA, Heil Ham Radio, and Radio Waves, as well as you, our listeners, and the folks who continue to nominate the best of the best young radio amateurs. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
This next story is straightforward and, we hope, easy to understand. But it's about a radio transmitted message that is deliberately, very deliberately, cryptic. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, tells us why.
The Enigma machine that the Germans used during World War II to create encoded secret messages is about to be put back into action. KPH, the maritime radio station in California, will be transmitting messages using Enigma encryption for broadcast via both CW and RTTY. Listeners copy the message and then, using an actual Enigma machine they may have in their shack or a simulated one available online, work to decrypt the message, which will be sent in groups of 5 letters each. This annual tradition recalls the hard work of World War II-era cryptographers who ultimately cracked the code. Certificates are awarded for proof of successful decode, first to decode, and for use of original or replica hardware. The broadcast begins at 2000 UTC on the 30th of August on all KPH, CW, and RTTY frequencies. For more details, visit the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
In the world of DX, 2 scout stations are finishing up their activations. Scout Station CR5OCEAN is on the air until the 9th of August, operating from the National Maritime Scout Camp Oceanos at the Alcaiva Dam in southern Portugal. Be listening on 40 and 20 meters. QSL via CR6CNE. In Slovenia, another scout station, S50ZLET, is being operated by members of Radio Club Cezana, S59ABL, and Radio Club Koper, S59CST, until the 8th of August for the Slovenian National Jamboree. See QRZ.com for details. Operators with the Summers Island Expedition, IOTA number EU133, are on the air until the 14th of August. They're using the call sign RI1E. Listen for Vasily, R7AA, and Mikhail, RA1ALA, operating CW single sideband, and the digital modes on 40 through 10 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Special event station 9A169 Tesla is on the air until the 31st of December, marking the 169th anniversary of the birth of Nikola Tesla. See QRZ.com for QSL details. In Canada, members of the Atlantic Coast DX and Contest Group are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the International Amateur Radio Union by going on the air throughout August as CG9IARU. They will activate POTA, Worldwide Flora and Fauna, and Canadian historical sites on the air locations. See QRZ.com for QSL and other details. You don't need to be a farmer to celebrate corn season this time of year. Neil Rapp, W8VPV, introduces us to one home brewer in Iowa who says it's not just corn season, but antenna season. The smiling radio operator greeting viewers of his YouTube videos calls himself Cornfield Kevin. And yes, Kevin, K0KLB, is outstanding in his field, which happens to be an Iowa cornfield. There, in August of 2022, Kevin harvested 2 single sideband contacts between Iowa and Texas while operating on 5 watts using a 20-meter vertical antenna fashioned from corn stalks. He called his creation the Corntenna. This year, Kevin is making the QSOs and the corn pop all over again. In his latest video, he shows how he put corn stalks back to work recently, this time using stalks from a fresh harvest to build a horizontal 20-meter dipole. He tested the Corntenna over a 2-day period and sadly made no contacts on the first day. The next day, after cutting fresh new stalks, he worked his brother Bruce, KE0QQE, on 10 meters. Bruce, who was nearby, gave him a 5.5. Then a POTA activator in Ohio copied him and gave him a 4.4, telling him he was, quote, down in the weeds, end quote. Well, those weren't exactly weeds Kevin was standing in, but the POTA op was correct about the challenging RST. Nonetheless, satisfied with his project, Kevin is sharing the build on his YouTube channel, Ham Radio QRP K0KLB. While you're there, check out Kevin's earlier project for the original vertical Corntenna. After all, when you're a ham on a farm in Iowa, every day can be field day. This is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. We hope you've been enjoying the ham radio haikus that our listeners have sent in. Have you written one yet? The Newsline Haiku Challenge is as easy as writing a QSL card. Now, we can only accept the correct haiku format, that is, a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, AMSAT News Service, Analyst IP, the ARRL, CBS, CNN, David Behar, K7DB, Facebook, 425DX Bulletin, the FCC, the Jeffrey Don Foundation, Maritime Radio Historical Society, NASA, Okaloosa County Board, PC Magazine, shortwaveradio.de, the Times of India, the Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all for the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its materials even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 10 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is W03X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control. It's Since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until the activity slows down, at which point I'll go 1 at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call, repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, I will close the net after repeating the announcements and giving one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. This evening, we will be on 10 meters on 28.360 megahertz. That's upper sideband. Okay, here are the announcements. The main thing is the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Picnic, which will be on Wednesday, August 13th, that's this coming Wednesday, at Waterworks Park at the Kelsey Creek Pavilion. We need to have you sign up so that we know how much food and type of drink to bring. And today is the last day to sign up for that. So go to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club website at www.cfarc.org. Over on the right it says next meetings, and under that is August 13th picnic sign up. So click on that sign up and fill it out accordingly to let us know how many are going to attend and what you would be bringing as a side dish or whatever. And so I'll take care of that this evening. That's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. There's a volunteer exam session on Saturday the 16th. If you know anybody that wants to take a test, or if you want to take one yourself, you have to pre-register. Go to our webpage, www.cfarc.org. Up along the top, there are some words, and you'll see the word education. Click on that, and that should take you to a page where you can register for the exam. We won't be set for walk-ins readily, so pre-register for that. Again, that's this Saturday, the 16th. The test starts at 10:30 a.m. at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. That's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for any officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club. Okay, not hearing any. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W3X at the mic asking for check-ins. Okay, well, nothing was heard on there except some startups of the repeater. I want to try that again, maybe a little more power, a little higher elevation. Go ahead. Okay, I caught AC8 X-ray Oscar. Vince, okay, if that was you, you're not able to hold the repeater there. Okay, well, we didn't get anything from that, but probably what you were saying was submit your articles for the September newsletter. We got the August newsletter, and it has in there about the picnic sign up. So that's the word on the newsletter. Okay, Vince, I have you checked in here. Okay, another check-in, please.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar.
Oh, there you go. What's going on there?
Something's wrong with the 2 meter side because nothing's coming in. I'm on the 440 side and I never use it.
Okay, I'm on the 2 meter side. How do I sound? Were you able to hear the announcements and so forth that I gave?
Yeah, Roger. I heard all the announcements, but all I'm hearing on the 2 meter side is beep beep, beep beep, and beep beep. In other words, everybody when they close, let off on the mic, all I hear is the little beep from the repeater saying, "Yeah, we're done."
Even when I'm talking on it, which I am, I'm on the 2 meter side.
No, you're coming in fine on both 2 meters and 440, so the cross couple's working perfectly fine. It's like something's not going good on the 2 meter side on other people coming in. I don't understand it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's see. So if you go to the 2 meter side and listen to me, then you can't hear me?
I went to the 2 meter side while you were talking. You were perfectly fine. But when anybody else was there, it was like crickets.
I guess, we have the new antenna. We need to get that installed, I guess. That might be what the problem is. It's not receiving very good, and, I'm not far from the repeater line of sight. I don't think it's a mile even, and there's my antenna is probably high enough to get over the little hill there across some foliage.
Well, every week, including this week, I've been on an HT sitting in my easy chair in the family room, and this time I put it on 440 and walked out to the deck. I'm probably 3 to 4 miles from the repeater, and normally I hit it without a problem.
Okay, well, we'll see how this net goes there. Thanks for letting me know. So maybe we won't have very many check-ins there. Thanks, Vince.
Yeah, no problem, John. And no, I didn't say anything about the darn newsletter, but thanks for repeating the newsletter thing. It's like I didn't say anything about that. It was just, saying hi, and thanks for the people that submitted articles. Other than that, John, you have a good evening. I'll see if I can get in on 10 meters.
Okay, yeah, that'll be on 28.360 megahertz and upper sideband. Thanks. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango.
W8EZT, go ahead, Frank.
I walked in here in the middle of Vince's discussion of the issue. I have not heard it yet, but you're coming through loud and clear. I assume you've got word out about the picnic. One additional point, we are going to be sending out an invitation to CVT, the Cuyahoga Valley Model Railroad organization, and inviting all of them. Since we're sharing a building with them now, it's a good opportunity to meet and greet and recognize each other, so we'll have some additional guests there. That invite will go out in just a few minutes. That's all I got, John. Look forward to seeing everybody Wednesday at the picnic. We'll hand it back to you. W8ECT, back to net.
Okay, Frank, very good. And I'd like to report that your signal there had less scratchiness in it than it has been in the recent past. So very good. Thanks. And I read about that. About the CVT invitation to the picnic too. So I think that's in the newsletter or it's in the emails. Thanks for checking in, 73, and hope to hear you on 28.360 megahertz later.
Will do, John. Back to that W8EZT.
Okay, yes, there's maybe some problem with the repeater and the signal reception capability. I'm just going to go one at a time here instead of 5. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W03X at the mic, asking for check-ins.
KE8 KVI, in and out.
KE8 KVI, Ron, in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
KF8 DZD, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Golf Delta, Bill in Macedonia, in and out.
KF8 DGD, Bill, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
KA8WTK.
KA8WTK. Go ahead, Bill.
Good evening, John and the rest of that. KA8WTK, Bill and Talmadge. Not much here. In fact, not much new since I saw you at the car show a week ago. Just trying to stay cool and getting some projects done as I can. I got a little bit more done with the antennas outside, clean connections and stuff like that. And hope to spend more time this winter when things settle down. Back to net. W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Yeah, very good, Bill. Yeah, I didn't make any progress on running the coaxes for. I'm going to put new coaxes when I put the X7 antenna and the new 13B2 and the 6-meter beam Yagi on my tower there. Along all that stuff's going on the new mast, which I bought in 2020 and haven't done anything with it yet. So that's what's going on here. So yeah, winter sounds like a good time for that here too. So thanks for checking in, 73. Have a good evening. Okay, another check-in, please. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
K8HMS.
K8HMS, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, hi, John. I was trying to get in on the 2-meter side, and I guess you couldn't hear me. But, yeah, good evening to you, and good evening to everybody. And, yeah, not much going on. Just trying to maintain here in the hot weather. So thanks for running the net, and hopefully look for you on 10. W8VPV, KHMS.
Okay, Steve, very good. Yeah, hope to hear you on 10 there. Yeah, we're not sure if there's a receive problem right now with the 2-meter repeater, so it's good you were able to get in on the 440 side here. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
KF8 AVD Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Victor Delta to Merriman Valley, in and out tonight.
KF8 AVD Tony, in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
This is Kilo Echo 8 Uniform Lima Charlie, Kurt in Cuyahoga Falls. That's KE8ULC on 8 watts, just a few, less than a half a mile. With a disc cone.
Okay, Kurt, you're coming in well. Do you have anything to mention?
I look forward to seeing you all at the picnic. Tonight I will not be checking on the 10-meter. A very early morning watching grandkids. So 73 to you all, and have a good night.
Okay, Kurt, very good, and thanks for mentioning you won't be checking in on 10 meters. So 73, have a good evening and a good night. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, I caught the Kilo Echo, and it sounds like Keith, Kilo Echo 8 TQR, but the repeater seems to be having a receive problem, maybe due to the heat. Go ahead, Keith, but we might not be able to tell what you're saying there. Go ahead.
Victor Papa Victor, this is KE8TQR. Can you hear me now, John?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
I went over to 444, and yeah, there's something going on there. I didn't know whether you were going to hear me or not, but I'm over here on the other side, so here we are. Not a lot here tonight. Just trying to stay on the cool side of the door. I hope everybody is. We've still got a couple more days of hot temperature and maybe some rain. Maybe. Maybe. Anyway, hope everyone has a good evening, and just try to stay comfortable in this heat, and hope to hear everyone down the log. So, John, I'll send it back to you. Fine job running the net tonight. I don't know what's wrong with the repeater, but I think we need to get that looked into. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless. Sending it back to you, John.
Okay, Keith, very good. Yeah, I'm pretty close to the repeater, so I guess that's why it's doing okay with me. Are you going to be on 10 meters this evening?
I do hope to be, so look for me there.
Okay, very good. Thanks. 7-3, and hope to hear you on 10 meters. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
Alpha Delta 8, Papa Foxtrot.
Alpha Delta 8, Papa Foxtrot. Go ahead, Greg.
Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, this is 88PF. Just wanted to say happy Monday evening to everyone. I've been off the air for a couple of weeks due to some family issues, but looking forward to hopefully talking to everybody on 10 meters this evening. And I haven't registered yet, but I should be at the picnic on Wednesday, so hope to see you guys there. Have a nice evening. 73.
Okay, Greg. Make sure you do that this evening, because that's the cutoff for us guys, and then they're going to be sending out an invitation for the CVT. That's the Cuyahoga Valley Terminal. The people with the train club. So yeah, take care of that this evening. It's on www.cfarc.org, and then on the right side of the page is it says next meeting, and then right below that it says August 13th sign up. So you just click on that. There's not much to it, so we can tell how many are going to be in attendance. So 7-3, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Well, somebody tried there, but didn't make it. I think the heat is affecting the reception of the 2-meter repeater. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W8VPV at the mic, asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. I'll repeat the announcements. So the main announcement is that the club picnic is going to be this coming Wednesday, and it will be at the Waterworks Park, Kelsey Creek Pavilion. And activities will start about 5 o'clock, and probably the food will be ready around 6. And talking about the food, to make sure that we have enough, go to our webpage at www.cfarc.org. And on the right side of the page, it says Next Meetings. And under Next Meetings, are two bulleted items. The first bulleted item is August 13th picnic sign up. So just click on that sign up and fill it out accordingly so that we have the correct amount of food and so forth, and the correct type of drinks that you prefer. This Saturday, August 16th at 10:30 a.m. is a volunteer exam test, license test. So if you want to take a test at least 24 hours before that test time, 10:30 a.m. Saturday, register for the test. And the way you do that is you go to our webpage again, www.cfarc.org. Click on the word education, which is along the top there. It's not in bold print. It's light gray print. And that will open up a page where you can register for an exam. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. I'll repeat them real quick. The picnic is this Wednesday, August 13th, at the Waterworks Park, Kelsey Creek Pavilion, and there's a volunteer exam session this Saturday. The test starts at 10:30 a.m. at the Cuyahoga Falls Library, and pre-register for that by going to www.cfarc.org, click on the word education, and fill out the form. Okay, let's see, I have no further announcements at this time. The newsletter came out, and it has a lot of information about upcoming radio contests and so forth. So take a look at that, and some of them, let's see, well, they start on the 23rd, so get ready for that. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is W03X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 11 check-ins, counting myself, and return the repeater to customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 8:59. 8:59 p.m. local time. The band exploration net at 9:30 is on 10 meters on 28.360 megahertz upper sideband. 73.